It's a new week in the Crew Motorfest, and this week's theme is called Lotus Motorfest Selection, and this is my summit guide. Let's go. All right, let's start out with the cars. For this summit bundle, it's going to cost you $530,000, which is actually a pretty cheap summit bundle. You get the Lotus Exige S and the Lotus Evora GTE. You're not going to need any additional vehicles. You can use those two for basically every event in the summit. And then we're going to be using a loan vehicle for a couple of events, and that is the brand new exclusive Lotus Emira Gold Shadow Edition, which is the summit reward for platinum this week. Speaking of the rewards, here are the rewards for this week, and then we'll get into the pro settings and the events. All right, the first event is called The Future Is Here, and this is with that loaned Lotus. This one is pretty simple. There's a couple of cuts in it, and I strongly recommend having a slipstream partner. The pace that you can keep with a slipstream partner is far greater than you can without. There's this cut here at the beginning, 3%, go in between the trees, drift it a little bit, and get back on the road. Here at 40%, you can get this checkpoint, then go through the trees, get this checkpoint here, get back on the road, and you're good to go. For the rest of the race, it is just all like highways and going through this volcano area. You can do this with your slipstream partner, try to stay close together, give each other drag bump and slipstream, and yeah, you'll be good to go. But that is basically it, those two cuts. Let's move on. All right, the next event is called Masterpieces in Motion, and this is definitely not a masterpiece. I made this car pretty ugly. Actually, both of my Lotus are very ugly. Anyways, let's take a look at this first lap. There's 2 laps in this race, and you're going to do both laps basically exactly the same. So we go across this section here. The left-hander here is a 4th gear turn. You can take it about 125. So I'll slow down to about that and cut across the corner here. Shift up early to 5th and 6th and use your NOS. When you go out of this tunnel, go slightly to the left. And then downshift when you get to this pavement here and take this corner fairly slow. You can cut across this one here. Don't hit any of the light poles. They slow you down quite a bit. And then get into 6th gear after this turn as quick as possible and dump the NOS. You want to get to about 235 miles per hour. On this jump, you can do slightly to the right. Just veer a little bit. Wait to NOS until you're on your way down. And try to turn your car at the last moment. So let me go back, because this is actually one of the parts that kind of tricks people the most here in this race. So notice I'm not using NOS in the air until I'm on my way down. I start right there, right as I'm about to land. Notice the mile per hour. I'm at 242. It's way higher than this car's top speed anyway. And I started to turn the car to the right. Basically, you do not want to hit this wall. You're going to slow down so much by hitting that wall. Anyways, keep going here. You can cut across this area here. I think this messed me up on this first one. It did. It went a little bit wide. So basically on the second lap, I did this a little bit cleaner, but you can take this corner much faster than you think. And just don't go wide. Try to stay closer to the building on the left. On this one, you want to stay very close to the building. I dropped it into 3rd, cut the corner, and then NOSed out of it. You're going to upshift into 4th and 5th early, and same thing with 6th. Use a lot of air NOS here. Downshift and cut this corner. And then get it into 6th again and use your NOS. That's basically the lap. All right, let's move on. All right, the next event is called the Eagle Spirit, and this one I did with the Evora as well. You could probably do it with the Exige as well. I can't remember if this is a choice or you have to use this one. I'll be honest with you. I think you have to use the Evora on this one. Anyways, I'm going to show you my full second lap. We'll talk about some of the things here that are important to this one. This turn here is a 4th gear turn, and you need to be cutting this corner like this. Try not to hit that tree. That thing slows you down a little bit. But if you go across the grass, it's a little bit more stable. Try to keep your NOS full here, just little taps, but go into 6th here and then dump to get a much higher speed here. I double downshift and then I cut across to the right here. So I'm still drifting it and I'm trying to catch that gutter there. And then you cut across this as well. Again, upshift early and use NOS. On this corner, you're going to cut as well. You go right through these bricks. And then obviously use NOS when you get out of it. And then finally, this corner is pretty important. I think I blew it on this one. I did. So you're trying to go as close to this building as possible. This one right here. You're going to go across this area, like basically where my car is pointed right now, but I was already in a drift. Let me show you what it looks like on lap 3. So this is what you're supposed to do. Slow down early, go across very close to the building. That allows you to make the corner a little bit faster. So, all right, let's move on. All right, the next event is called Reinventing Sportscars, and this is with the loan vehicle again. This one, again, a slipstream partner will greatly help you on this race. Highly recommend it because the last, I would say half of the race is like all highway. All right, so in the beginning of this race, there's a lot of little things. This first turn section here, you can actually just kind of extend into the grass and go straight. So go around this tree, straight this way. You can use a little bit of NOS. I kind of went through it a little soft. And you can cut this gas station here. All right, when you get to here, you don't want to slow down on this corner at all. What you want to do is take this as fast as possible. You cut down here, and you're going to get credit for this checkpoint no matter what. So take that corner as fast as you possibly can and reset when you get to that checkpoint. Going up and around is definitely not faster. You definitely want to go in there and reset. It's slightly faster to do it that way. All right, here at 70%, you can go across the grass a little bit, use some NOS. Easy enough cut. And that's actually it for this race. All right, let's move on. All right, the next event is called the Power of Simplicity. And for this one, I'm using the Exige. This one, before you actually start the race, you need to start the race first and run into the truck that's on the first corner. So you'll go up here to this first corner, make contact with the truck, not the boat, the truck. And as soon as you do that, just go ahead and retry. Now, once you retry and you start the race, you're going to notice that that truck is not there anymore, which means you can cut this corner very, very tightly. It's going to help you with this corner on the first and the second lap. So let's take a look at the first lap here. So you cut this corner nice and clean. You're going to go through this little shortcut here in the alley, and then NOS across this area here. Try to keep as much stability as possible. Downshift into second, and then make that turn. The tough one, it's very tight. And then on this one, you're gonna kind of go across the grass on both corners, then slow down for this corner here. And then you're gonna cut the corner on this one as well. Just don't hit the boat. There's a boat parked there, don't hit that one. Go cut this corner as well. And then you go to the left of this sign, this shopping mall sign here. You want to go to the left of that and try to control the car as much as you can. If you hit the wall, it's okay. It's not gonna hurt your time too much. Then you can cut that corner as well, and then rinse and repeat for lap 2. All right, let's move on. All right, the last event is called Without Equal, and this one I'm using the Exige as well. So this first part is all about gutter turns. You got to hit every single gutter on the way down the hill. Luckily, the Exige is actually really good at gutters, and so it's not terribly difficult. Now, when you get to this sharp turn here at about 39%, I drifted it. If you want to learn how to drift, all you have to do is hit the NOS and the handbrake at the same exact time. I also cut this corner at 45. And then on this corner, I go to the right at 53%. I go off to the right a little bit and slow down and try to make this corner here. And I kind of went off into the bricks a little. I could definitely be more controlled there, but that's basically how you want to do it. I entered it with too much speed, so it looks kind of like this. I went way too fast here, wasn't able to slow down, and the car just drifted on me. The next corner you're also going to cut here at 56, and you're going to cut this corner here at 58. You don't really have to cut this one, but I would recommend cutting this one to the right of the checkpoint flag and then straight towards the next checkpoint flag. You're also going to cut across the grass here, going towards the checkpoint. Just continue on straight to the next checkpoint. Then you can use NOS to get your speed back up. That's it, basically. I think the rest are just 2 gutter turns here. Yep, and NOS to the finish. All right, let's get to the feats. All right, for both of the slaloms, all you need is to have a score breaker set of parts. You put it on your Lotus and you go for it. It doesn't really matter how fast you go or how slow you go. You just it's fine. You just have to have score breaker parts. So a score breaker set bonus with the skilled affix completely maxed out, and you can re-affix your parts. There is one thing though on this first one, that you can actually use NOS in the air here and not run into that grate. Sometimes you go below there, but you don't have to. As long as you're on the left side of the checkpoint, even if you're up here, it still counts for your, for your score. So just go around each of those arrows and make sure you have score breaker. So that's the advice for both slaloms. Let's take a look at the escape. All right, this one is pretty simple. You're going to be going the opposite direction of which you spawn. So go up the hill, turn around, come back, make a left when you get to the start of the escape, and just follow this path here. You're going to basically go straight, and when you get to the this spot where the highway sort of almost intersects, you can actually just jump off this street onto the highway, which is right after these palm trees. When you see this big blue thing in the sky, that's kind of the direction you're going to be going. So turn off here and jump onto this on-ramp here, and now you're on the highway, and you just stay on this highway. There is one left-hand turn at the end of the highway. Let me fast forward to that. So just like the grand races, you go up to this section here and you turn left. On the mini map, the highway is highlighted very white, so you know that's the main highway. So that's basically it. You get 6,000 yards, you're gonna have plenty of score. So all right, here are my final scores. Remember, if you have any questions about the summit or you're having trouble and you need some help, send me a DM on Instagram or Discord. I will read every single message that comes my way. I'll do my best to help you as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video helps, and I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.